Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Oregon Springs. Little Miss Bugs and I are farming.
Yep.
It's time to do some seeding as Miss Bugs is harvesting the wheat field
Yeah.
and the corn field. I'm going to get these other two fields planted. What do you want to grow on these fields, Bugs? Should we do oilseed radish? Hamburger. Do you want to do a stage of oil? Let's see. We got everything we need. So this is fertile. No, we don't need to do oilseed radish. We'll just go straight.
Yeah.
So you want to grow some hamburger? Silly.
Let's see. Sorghum?
Soybeans? Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorghum.
I'm really bad at this today.
Whoa! I just rocketed forward. Whoops! I rocketed backwards.
The header.
Are you having a rough day?
Yes, I am. With the header. No, I'm just joking.
Oh my gosh.
You know, I went to turn it on and I was going and it wouldn't, I got it to go now, but
Silly girl.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot to fill this up. Oops. Dang it. I have to make a U-turn up here somewhere.
A U-turn, U-turn where?
A U-turn? Oh my.
So are you still on your diet?
No. You asking me because you know I'm not?
Yeah. What happened to it?
I don't know. I got tired of it. I need to get back on it though. Ugh.
Yeah, get the weigher out and let's see how much you weigh today.
No.
I put on a lot of weight. I have to lose it again.
No, you look great. You don't.
130 now, Art.
Perfect.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
I'm losing it.
You're losing it?
In the head.
In the head?
Yeah, the doctor, they're like, you're putting on a lot of weight. Last time I went, like, it's because of the birth control.
Oh. Yeah, they said that it does cause weight gain. You're right.
And I'm going to lose it. They said 40 pounds usually you gain with this.
Whoa.
Yeah, so and it'll be like 160.
You're gonna be chubby Bugs?
That's not gonna be it. That's not gonna happen. I just won't eat.
No, you can't do that. You have to eat. You just gotta eat the right things. Bugs, behave yourself.
I know.
Gotta
Is that a windmill?
You gotta be healthy. Yeah,
is that a windmill?
I know there's windmills all over the place, and that's funny you call it a windmill because that's what my kids call it too.
What do you call it?
A windmill.
A windmill.
Mill.
I was told that's how you're supposed to say it.
No, it's not how you're supposed to say it. It's mill.
Well, I'm from Michigan, and you're from
mill.
Ohio.
It's not how you say it in Michigan either.
I can say whatever I want.
If it would be a windmeal if it was MEAL, but it's windmill, MILL. However, windmills produce meal.
Yes.
Which is basically ground up grain, right? So,
yeah. Yes.
But it's windmill. That's like my kids used to call it a museum. I'm like, no, it's a museum.
Museum.
They're like museum. I'm like, no, it's museum. It's funny that's a hard thing for them, but that's how it was.
It's because of homeschoolers.
Why am I not able to fill up with fertilizer? There should
because
be.
You have too much fertilizer.
Oh, maybe this doesn't have. You know what? This thing doesn't have fertilizer. So we're gonna do oilseed radish for fertilizer. Is that okay with you?
Yes, whatever.
She said yes, whatever.
I'm.
You crabby now?
No, I'm not at all.
No.
I'm never crabby.
No, you really aren't.
You saw me. The only time I was crabby was that one time. I was like, just leave me alone. I can do stuff by myself. I'm fueling. These things use up a lot of fuel. They do?
Oh, yeah. I'm putting in probably like 400 liters, 500 liters.
Wow.
You said what?
They take a lot of fuel, too. People do. And they don't burn it off.
That's right. I don't. It just goes
They
all
said if you eat tomatoes, avocado, and tea, just green tea, you lose a lot of weight.
Like that's all you eat?
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah. I couldn't do that. I don't know. That's pretty restricted.
I dare you.
That's a lonely diet.
I dare you for 2 days to do that.
Avocado, tomato, and I hate avocado. Ugh.
Too bad.
Is that too bad?
Too bad. That's part of your heritage too, by the way.
What's that? Avocado?
Avocado. You cannot hate your heritage.
I don't hate my heritage. I just hate avocados.
You do hate your heritage.
No, I don't. Why do you say that?
Because you do.
No, I don't. You silly bugs.
And I found out I'm part Indian, by the way.
I can see it in your face.
Indian?
Mm-hmm. You have high cheekbones.
That's what Grandma said.
Well, that's what you.
American Indian.
Oh yeah.
That's what Grandma was saying. My mom goes, she's losing it. But I don't think my grandma's losing it. I really don't think my grandma's losing it.
Yeah. How old is she?
I'm 82 or 80. Maybe she's like 85.
Wow.
I don't even know my grandma's age.
It's all right. I didn't know mine either. I think my grandma died when she was 83.
Really?
Maybe 85.
Wow.
My grandpa died much younger. He had leukemia.
They said guys don't last very long.
They don't.
And I don't know why.
Why? Well, I know
why.
You know.
Keep it up with us women.
Yeah. Well, in reality, it's because back in the day, men worked and
more.
women stayed home. Right. I think that's changing though, because I think that women are working just as much as men are now, and so they're not living as long.
Yeah, but what really gets to me is like when people are like, "Whoa, my wife, I'm gonna make her," like, they change their thing from, "I want my wife to work and I don't want to work anymore," and they want to sit on their duff.
Right.
That just doesn't make sense to me.
It doesn't.
Like, okay, all of a sudden you want to change your whole outlook.
Well, I don't know that all guys are like that, but there's definitely guys.
There's definitely a few.
Yeah.
I was up at what the funniest thing is when I was up there at the Lodge, the average guy weighed almost 300 pounds.
Welcome to the club. That's me.
And I'm like, I was like, oh, there was only one guy that looked like he was fit, like fit.
Right.
And he was a total douchebag.
Right. Well, that's normal.
I was trying, my little girl was like, we're standing in line. He tried cutting in front of us. I'm like, don't you dare do that. And he goes, the B word. And I'm like, is that called for? And he goes, well, women like you can't wait in line, you fat. And then he calls me fat and everything. I'm like, oh my gosh. He was a really jerk.
Obnoxious, yeah.
Yeah, such a jerk.
Yep. Yeah, I believe it.
And he was like, and then I saw him back when I went in there to work out I went in there for the kids were sleeping up there, and it was like 7 o'clock, and I don't like to get up early, but be like, I'm spending time here, and I want to spend as much time as I can, not in bed.
Right.
Or couch, I guess you say. But I want to spend time doing things instead of,
sleeping.
Sleeping, yeah.
Though at 7 o'clock in the morning, I'd probably still be in bed too. I think I'd want to be doing lots of stuff after 10.
Mm-hmm.
Let me wake
Nothing's
up.
Open after 10.
After 10 in the morning?
Oh, 10 in the morning. Oh, I thought you meant to say.
No. No, you're right. Things close. They do say the early bird gets the worm. Mm-hmm. But who wants worms?
But I went down there because I had some gift cards for they had a Dunkin' Donuts downstairs.
Oh, that's funny. So you went to Dunkin' Donuts?
Yeah. Had it. Well, they're really expensive. They're like twice as expensive.
Right. Yeah.
They just go to the regular
amusement
Dunkin'
park
Donuts.
fee increase. Right.
They always do that. I think on purpose.
Boo.
Yeah. It was just funny how it was like $1 more for everything.
Or more, right?
Yeah.
Hello, bugs.
Hi.
Doing a good job there.
I'm working like I'm always supposed to.
Working girl.
Yeah. I just couldn't believe like I couldn't find anybody to take care of my dog.
Yeah, that was crazy. And then your parents were such a pain about it.
Well, no, they promised that they would meet me, but I'm just like I'm so over it. I'm just gonna get next time. I'm like I said, I'll just bring my dog to you, and I'll give your kids $80 some or $100, and they can take care of the dog.
They would love that.
Or yeah, because next time I plan on going to Cedar Point, maybe.
Okay, there you go.
Maybe.
You said
I was
maybe.
gonna go this year, but I don't have a pass thing. Rachel, my friend, wanted to go, but I don't know if her son got expelled from school again, so.
Oh, so no.
Don't know. I don't know.
No prize for him.
No
Cedar Point for him.
She wants to do it, but.
What did he do to get expelled? My goodness.
He pretended that he was gonna shoot the teacher with a handgun with his hand. Teachers they're taking really stuff seriously.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you, they're not taking no as a joke anymore. Like, and they were gonna call the police on her son. I'm like, he's like 13, but he's like a good kid. He's autistic too.
Oh, okay. Like, you'd think the teachers and the caregivers would understand, like, okay, this kid's autistic, so.
No.
And he's going to a special school, I'm assuming?
He's going to regular school.
Oh, okay.
Public school. He was going to Christian, but she can't afford it anymore.
Right.
Too much. Her guy literally dumped her this couple weeks ago, and he's not the kid's dad, but he was helping pay for the school and, help paying, and he just dumped her, and so she's living back with her mom now, so that she can't afford,
Right. That sucks.
She can't afford the $6,000 it costs a year to, to.
Right. It's so expensive. Oh my gosh.
It is. And then she's like, you left me. And then he left his stuff there, so she's gonna have like a garage. She wanted to have a garage with me so she can sell stuff. I says,
you can't do that.
That's his stuff. I said legally, I don't think you can, because I think that you could take you small claims.
Yeah, absolutely. Right.
Well, he left his laptop, his clothes, just like up and left her. Didn't even tell her that he was leaving. She hasn't heard from him for like 3 weeks.
Oh, weird. People are weird.
But here's the thing is, he just disappeared. She called his parents, and this is what his parents said, he hasn't contacted them in 2 weeks.
Oh my gosh. Oh, maybe
she's like missing. So he might have not even left her.
No, he probably ran off with someone else.
Yeah. Job too.
That happened here. There was I'm trying to think of what company it was. There was a pretty big company in town in Medina. I'm sorry. No, okay, now I remember what it was. Okay, so in Cleveland there was a venue. It was like a wedding venue, and like a hall.
Yeah.
And the owner disappeared.
Really?
And they were like, "What the heck?" Like, he just was gone. And so the company was like getting ready to close down, and it was like they didn't know what to do. Well, he ran off with he had a wife and kids, and he ran off with this lady to Canada.
Oh my gosh! And left his whole business.
Yeah, left everything. He just ran off. And so when he finally came after he found out there was like he was not a manhunt, but like people were like he was on like Amber Alert and all this stuff. Like people thought he got kidnapped. Because he was rich, so they thought, maybe it's a mafia thing because he's Italian, it's like.
Oh my god!
So he finally came forward and was like, "No, this is what happened." And of course, then everyone hates him now. It's like. What'd
you say?
They all hate him now because he did that, So now his business went under and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like people stopped, everybody just left.
Yeah.
In fact, I think I shot the last wedding there that they had.
Wow.
I think it was called Michelangelo's, if I'm.
Wow.
Remembering right, but yeah, it was like people.
There was a girl that went missing over here too. They can't find her.
Oh really?
What happened to her? Nope. She was walking. There's some park over near here, and she was walking, and her parents have never seen her since.
Oh, that's sad.
I'm thinking she got abducted because usually the women get abducted. Usually they don't run. Like, I'm not saying like all women don't run away with guys like that. I feel like she got
Yeah,
abducted.
usually that's what happens, right? Yeah.
Yeah. It was like a couple years ago. I don't really know the whole story. I mean, I'm kind of like want to be a cop because I kind of like finding out mysteries.
Yeah. Well, you could be a detective.
Yeah, I just
You could join.
like
You could join when
mysteries.
Mark starts his own company to do detective work. You can be in his detective.
Mark's
work.
gonna start his own company.
Yeah.
That's what he says.
Yeah, someday, right. Probably what'll happen is that firm that he works for will want him to expand, like they'll want to expand, and he'll end up being in charge.
He's a
of it.
detective
He's he's a private investigator.
right now.
Mm-hmm. Yep, he just got a job doing that. He wanted to do it his whole life. Like he's always wanted to be a private investigator, and so he just randomly contacted this guy that owns a private investigation firm in Cleveland, and he was like, my name's Mark. I've been wanting to, I really wanted to I've always wanted to be a private investigator. I'd love to be part of your firm, or at least do a ride along to see what it's like.
Yeah.
And so the guy called him back like within an hour, and he's like, look, he's like, at first I was not going to answer you because he had just like literally an hour before Mark wrote him, he posted a job on the job search.
Yeah.
So he was like, I thought you were just not paying attention to my instructions and wanted to sneak in without going through the job search thing. He's like, but then after reading your letter, I realized you didn't know that I was posting a job, that this was just random. And he's like, I really like what you said, and I really like, you're obviously very educated, and I want you to come out and try it out. So Mark went out probably about 3 weeks ago, and they worked together to bug somebody's car.
Yeah.
And so he'd like to follow them, So they put a tracker on someone's car together at like 2:00 in the morning or 3:00 in the morning.
Do they go for the police department or it's not?
Well, they have to let the police know what they're doing. So
because it's actually it's like against the law to put anything on somebody's car unless it's because she was cheating on this guy or something?
Yeah, right. Yes.
Oh my gosh.
So actually, other way around, he was cheating on her. Now he's working on a case where she's cheating on him. Different couple.
But that's kind of stupid to me. That I would think I don't know, like a murder case or something. But I think that's kind of stupid.
He said he said a vast majority of them are affairs.
Oh my gosh.
That's a vast majority of the business because the husband thinks the wife's cheating or wife thinks the husband's cheating, and so they watch them. They send somebody, they hire somebody to go check it out and see what they're doing, and so he
they pay all these people that much money to do this.
Yes, or the other thing is child support. So like this one lady is the dad is trying to get custody of the kids because his claim is that the mom is not taking care of the children. And so
people come over and watch.
They hired a private investigator to come and make sure that she was staying with the kids all day. And guess what?
She wasn't.
She's not. She's going to the gym. She's going to Starbucks.
She's bringing the kids with her.
No. She leaves them. She's not even watching them.
How old are the kids? Though?
Little.
Okay.
So she's going to lose custody because now they have video evidence of this person. So anyway, it's a really cool job, and it's a really cool, and he's always wanted to do it. Now the downside is it doesn't pay very well.
Yeah.
So he's going to be broke his whole life unless he owns a company. So probably what'll happen is what he's hoping will happen is if he does a good enough job, the guy will hire him to open a branch somewhere.
Yeah.
And then he'll go do that. So you could work for him. You could be a private investigator.
Yeah, I'm good at that stuff. I found people on Facebook, like they'll have like fake accounts, and I find the people who are really behind the fake accounts. I've done that before.
Awesome.
I've always wanted to find out like who really kills somebody, like John Benet Ramsey.
Oh right.
I watch like CSI.
Right.
Criminal Case.
I don't like those shows because they're so dark.
Oh, they are.
I always feel like shooting myself when I'm done watching them. I'm like, man, this is so depressing.
There was one last night where this girl, her husband had killed his ex-wife. I think it's because of a custody thing.
Right. Yeah.
And so
it can be.
He
Yeah.
killed her, and then she, one of her guy friends before they got married, she told him that he's in jail for murder, capital murder, because he murdered her, and so So he was talking to her, and he bugged him. He bugged it. He wanted to see, because she told him some secret, like, oh yeah, he should have used this instead of the knife or something. So he's like, oh, he went to the police, and so they bugged his car. They put something so they could hear her, and she was just telling him what she would do to the girl herself.
Right.
Like, I would have just used the gun to her head over and over again.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, it was terrible. And so then they brought her in and questioned her, and so they did a plea bargain with her. She can be in jail for 20 years.
Oh.
If she gives more information. But no, she wanted to go to trial. She didn't take the plea bargain, which is, she should have taken the plea bargain, because they sentenced her to life to prison.
We had
She didn't do anything. She just knew that he did that. He did the murder.
I remember there was a girl that my mom knew. Her name was Kim, real pretty young girl. Mm-hmm. And they were all friends, like her and my mom's friend Donna and this girl.
Yeah.
And she seemed kind of like a troubled soul, but was like trying to make her life better and stuff.
Yeah.
And then one day she got arrested, and we're like, what the heck happened? And it turned out that she and her brothers and sisters plotted her father's murder.
Oh my gosh.
They had him killed.
What?
I was like,
that's so dark.
I know. And
so
it was, I guess the guy was a real dirtbag. Like, he deserved it, but still, it was like, what? So she ended up in jail.
Well,
so then her name was Kim, and so then they
some stuff that they should get.
Yeah, I know. That's called mercy and grace, right? Getting what you don't deserve, or not getting what you do deserve. Anyway, so she ended up going to jail, of course, but then they after that everyone called her Killer Kim. That was like her nickname's Killer Kim. Yeah. And then another guy, and this was crazy. Like, he and his wife drowned their kids.
Oh yeah, that's pretty common now. There's several people around here.
Yeah, it was crazy. This was a guy that I worked with. He was always real quiet.
Mm-hmm.
But he was okay. So I worked in this company, and it was really cutthroat, and it was a programming company, and they had so we were tech support, and we had to support the product. Well, if you didn't know how certain things worked, you had to talk to the programmer to figure out what was going on. Like, he was the only guy that I could talk to. Like, everybody else they were jerks. So, like, he would actually talk to me and be like, oh yeah, we'll fix that, and this is what's going on.
Yeah.
And then one day he wasn't at work, and I'm like, I said to my friend Ben, I said, Ben, where's John? And he's like, you didn't hear? And I'm like, no. What do you mean I didn't hear? And he's like, oh, he and his wife killed their kids. I'm like, what?
Their kids?
Yes, they drowned their children. I was like, what?
Was it on Cold Case?
Huh?
Was it on Cold Case? I think I remember something like that.
I don't know. I mean, this was 25 years ago. Wow. It was when I first started working. Wow. So, but just crazy. Like, he just was gone. And then we had another guy when I was working at Key. What was the name of the company? It was part of Key Bank. They had just gotten bought out. McDonald Investments. And this guy was hacking the Pentagon from work.
Oh my gosh!
Like, all of a sudden, we were in work. It was lunchtime, and he was a really weird guy. He was kind of crabby and like not a nice guy.
Oh my gosh.
But he had, he was like the typical emo guy. He had like the hair over his face, and he was all of a sudden, like, we were at lunch, and all these FBI agents started, like, guys with like the the earpieces started coming in from like all directions in the building, like, because it was a pretty big open office, so you could see everything.
I'm sorry.
And they just walked off with the guy.
Oh my gosh.
It's like, what? So my life, I've lived through some crazy crime scene investigations. That's what happens when you get in the working world, like things happen sometimes,
Yeah.
This is crazy. So.
Oh, I had a friend who died, which was crazy. Like,
that was your one friend, right? Like,
yeah, I don't even know how she died. I tried to contact the family, but they wouldn't tell me. So I think she was using drugs and she overdosed.
Yeah, that's usually the most.
That's what I figured, but how it was said is, she accidentally just died in her sleep, blah blah blah.
You're like, she was 28. You don't accidentally die in your sleep when you're. I mean, I guess you could.
She was 30. She was a little older than I am. She was 38.
Okay, she's 38.
Or at the time, she was like 36.
That was only a couple of years ago, right?
2016.
Okay, yeah, so 2 years ago.
October. Not quite 2 years.
Jeez. Yeah, I remember you talking about that. That's just...
Yep. I have a video of it up. But I was thinking, like, why, or something like that. Just you wonder why that happened. But,
Stuff like that happens sometimes, My brother-in-law, he committed suicide. That was that was a bad day. I remember that. You don't forget that, But yeah, like talking about messed up families, that my in-laws, except for Patrick there, and Richard. Richard's doing pretty well too, but
everybody has a messed up family.
yeah, I think so. I think in reality,
but at least I've seen a lot of grandparents that really care, and I feel like mine don't care. I feel like they want to do stuff with me, and then they really don't.
Right. Oh, you mean
really
your kids' grandparents, like your parents, yeah.
Yeah, like my parents, like they'll say they want to do something, and then it's like, oh, let's get together this week, and then they make an excuse for it.
Yeah,
like
I can't. We're busy. Yeah, everyone's sick.
In order for them to take care of my dog, I had to cry on the phone. Art.
You had to pull out all the stops.
No, yes.
Yeah.
Because they said no.
Right. Absolutely. That just sucks. That's frustrating. And there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, and then she goes, well, I don't know. And somebody said, well, just let her come over and drop the dog off. It doesn't matter. But I'm like, I kind of said, can we meet? And she's like, nope, if we're taking care of your dog, you bring your dog over. I'm like, so rude. Like,
like, what the heck, dude?
Yeah, whatever. I'm not doing it again. I'm just taking her to a kennel, or I'll ask somebody else. I'm just not going to mess with asking them ever again.
No, I wouldn't either. I'd be like,
my dog is not eating.
What?
She won't eat anything.
What, were they feeding her table scraps or something?
I'm figuring they were feeding her wet dog food.
Oh, so because she likes it that way? Yeah.
I'm kind of figuring because she won't even eat her dog food anymore.
Is she losing weight?
Mm-hmm. She lost a lot. She doesn't act the same. She sleeps all the time. She just acts different than she was. Like, they said that she was a mean dog and bit them. Like, my dog doesn't bite. And I, like, where's the bite marks?
Poor Kina.
I feel sorry for her. She's a really nice dog. People are just rude now. It's really hard to explain the time and age. I saw on Facebook. I should tag you in it. I don't know if it's real, but in Canada, they hung a guy from because he did something. They hung him and showed everybody, this is what's going to happen to you guys.
No, I can't. It
looked real.
Well, but it probably, like, who hung him? The government did?
They were talking about the New World Order. Yeah.
No,
like,
I don't think that's real.
The lady who posted it, she's a Christian, and she posts a lot of New World, like, stuff that's really happening. And she explained to me in email that it really was true.
I'd have to check with that. I mean, I would double check that.
I'm gonna look.
Because there's a lot of that kind of stuff out there, and it's like, that didn't actually happen.
Yeah, I'm gonna look up a lot of.
Yeah, I would be checking into that.
I'm gonna look up this week, and I don't really have time to do it, but whenever I get time, to get night.
Miss Bug's little study time. Like, I'm gonna look this up.
I've been reading a lot more than I used to.
Good. What are you reading right now?
I'm just reading books about the Indian, like, it's a love story, Indian love story, like.
Oh, it's cute.
Yeah.
I read all the time. I love reading.
But it's got, like, bad parts in it.
Oh. Unfortunately, a lot of literature does. There's very few genres that don't have, as you say, bad parts.
Well, the thing is it, it's like one whole chapter. The whole chapter was about it. So I'm like,
okay, I'm just gonna skip ahead.
There's like 17 things in one book. There isn't a lot of.
Well, is it written by George R.R. Martin? I mean, what's the
Cassie something?
The Game of Thrones.
No, it's.
Well, it's a romance novel. That's what romance novels are about. Don't you know that? The story is just a side thing. It's more about reading about sex. That's what romance novels are.
That's what I realized, like, after reading it.
That's why, like, George R.R. Martin, the Game of Thrones guy. It's a weird thing to me because it's almost like he combines, like, romance. They're like romance novels for men. It's really weird. Like, I don't understand. I mean, the stories are decent.
It's a different perspective from a guy.
But it's definitely there's definitely like these skeevy, like I'm like, ew, like I just, oh, okay, it's like reading a romance novel, but it's for guys. It's just weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, I read those books years ago before they were popular. Well, the ones that were out anyway.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Irk.
Me?
Yeah, you just crashed.
No, it's just, it does that.
I
have it going.
Oh, the lag spikes. Yeah. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, that's funny. So you realize now that it's a romance novel.
Yeah. Well.
Try Pride and Prejudice.
I read the first one and it wasn't dirty. It had one part and I just skipped over the one part. This one has 17 parts in it. It was absolutely.
You kept track. That's what cracks me up.
I'm like, yeah, I marked the whole book with markers in bad parts.
I gotta read that again.
No, I don't do that.
What's happening here? Oh.
It's awful.
Bugs, you're so silly. You said it's awful. That's funny. But that is what romance novels are about. I mean, they're just...
Yeah, women like that stuff for some reason.
Yeah, because a woman's...
I've never been like that.
Man is visual, woman is intellectual, and that's...
I like the mystery Christian. I used to read Christian, but now the Christian ones even have bad stuff more, too.
Interesting.
I read one that had a sex scene and had swear words the whole thing.
Ugh.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't even remember.
You're like, not quite a Christian novel.
It wasn't a Christian novel.
Oh, there you go.
I mean, it was a Christian novel, but
but it wasn't Christian, right? Yeah.
It is a Christian novel, but it's not a Christian when it has that stuff in it, you know?
Yeah. What can you do? I think we're gonna finish this field up because I don't want to. We'll make a longer episode this time because you don't want to do like half a planting.
My field, mine's gonna take forever.
Well, we'll have to come back to that. I'm almost thinking about when I'm done with these two fields, renting or buying a second harvester so we can harvest together.
This is gonna. I'm not.
Because it's gonna take like I know you're not even a quarter of the way done. So I'll help. Maybe what we'll do is for the next episode we'll buy another harvester and I'll help you do it because we still have some money left over. It seems like if we're going to be doing a crop farm, like that's going to be pretty important to what we do because it's definitely. Yeah. That harvester is a small one. If we have two of those, we'll be doing great. But one of them alone is. Yeah. We're struggling, obviously. So. Yeah. I think we need to get a second harvester in there and make it work. You said, Are you cutting me off? You're like, shut up, Arthur. You talk too much.
I never said that. I don't say that. I never told you to shut up ever.
Never, actually. I can't remember a single time.
Yeah, I don't think I ever told you that.
Nope. No, you don't.
You told me that a couple times.
Maybe, but joking. But I told you, we say that as a joke sometimes. Like, oh, shut up.
I don't like that because my son says it all the time.
Well, yeah, and he's not joking about it, right?
No, he's not joking. He's pretty mean about it when he says it. But, I mean, he's a kid and,
Well, it's one of those training things. You're going to have to keep working on that, and eventually he'll get it. Hopefully. Yeah, it's hard. I mean, I'll tell you what, like I said, my one friend's son is autistic. Was it Asperger's or whatever? And, yes, and he's having a rough time. He's doing okay, but it's hard for him to be in public. It's hard for him to cope with people around. Yeah. And he struggles with drug issues and stuff like that. So
drug issues?
Yeah, he has some issues. So, it's like it's hard. Jay's trying his best to keep the kid together, and he's doing okay. I mean, the kid does okay.
With the parents?
Still, yeah, he's 21.
He's probably going to still live with them forever.
No, he wants to get out. I mean, he definitely wants to. He has a girlfriend, and she helps him quite a bit.
My son probably forever.
You're like forever. You said,
forever.
You don't know that though. As he grows,
I do.
You think so?
I do. He's not he can't function by himself. When I asked him to go he can make like breakfast, but like when we were at the trip, he just got really upset like at things.
Poor guy. So you don't think it'll get better as he gets older?
I don't know. Like I said, I don't know.
And that might be something like, there is government help for therapy for that. Like, I mean, you might be able to see a therapist to kind of help you guys figure out how to handle those situations and kind of how to help him cope with it. Because, he should be able to. Like I said, we have a friend that has it. It depends on his
Yeah.
level, but like our neighbor kid, he's doing really well. He's going through college. He drives. He's like,
It just, like I said, it just depends on the kid. He's only
Right.
10. So.
yeah, he's still little. So, but if you start young, it'll help you guys cope. It'll help you cope with
Yeah.
that. Him and you both.
Yeah.
Like to figure out how to make his life easier and how what things that'll help him to and I know with that the kid that's Asperger's,
Yeah.
they've got him on medications, and I know you don't want to do the medications, but it
Yeah.
does help him a lot. Like it has the medication that they have him on now is working great, and it helps him a lot. Like for whatever reason he reacts
Yeah.
he reacts well to it. So
I can't put him on medication right now.
I know.
It
Well,
costs too
it
much.
costs too much,
Our
right?
insurance
Yeah.
won't cover it, so.
Yeah.
Insurance won't cover anything, so.
At some point you might be able to get on Medicaid, and at that point you can kind of consider
Yeah,
it because it will help him for sure.
Yeah, for sure. My insurance is gonna not be covering me for anything.
I know.
Which is sad.
Yeah, it's tough. Yeah, I have none. I don't have any health insurance, So,
Sucks.
and it's hard. It's hard to know what to do about it because it's like,
You can't go to the doctor. you
right?
know.
Yeah, like, well, you need to get that checked out. Okay, great.
Great, I'll get it checked out when I can afford.
For the
to get it checked
$10,000
out.
doctor visit, right? Which is never right.
$10,000 doctor? Why the heck does a doctor have to cost 10? Oh,
I know it's not that expensive. Most doctor visits are about $100 to $200. I mean, it's not
When
like
I was
that
when I went to
expensive,
the doctor
but
6 or 7 years ago, they were like $50.
yeah, if you have to do anything special, like any kind of specialist stuff, it's really expensive. So, anyway, how's it going over there, Bugs?
Pretty much done. I think this almost thing full here. My finger's numb again. Oh.
Now, do you have your joystick?
Yeah, I use that sometimes, but it doesn't even help either. It still doesn't help.
Because
Yep,
you're
doesn't
pulling
help.
trigger. Now, don't forget you can use cruise control when you're driving. So
Yeah, I am. I'm doing that.
Okay.
My finger's still numb.
sucks. So you get about an hour of playtime, folks.
Yes.
With Bugs, she has a limited time, a limited engagement.
If I want to be a full-time gamer, which I want to.
No, my fingers get numb. I mean, I get wrist pain and stuff like that because that's just part of what happens when you're gaming. So
Yeah.
the controllers do help, though. So
Yeah, I take it on and off though. Like
Yeah.
I took it off. I use it like probably like I use it like sometimes.
so have you got you? Do you like it? Do you like using it or
I'm gonna say no.
no? You don't because you're not used to it.
I just don't like it. I don't know. I just don't like it. It's not. I don't know. I've used it a couple times. Connected it. Just use it for like just playing it. Just I don't know. I just didn't like it. I guess I'm used to the keyboard.
Right? Yeah. Right. Because you're used to
I'm
the
hooked
keyboard,
to the
right?
keyboard. I guess I'll be always hooked to the keyboard.
Yeah. Well, I think that does it for this episode. We have the fields all planted. Bugs and I are in the middle of the harvest here. I'll put this tractor away in a little bit, and we'll get a second harvester involved here. So, did you have fun, Bugs?
Yes, I did.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. Have a great night. Be sure to subscribe. Thumbs up always help, and we'll see you next time on Oregon Springs. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this series. Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.